Nonny, this could have been much tougher. A lot of people thought it would be, but that was assured, it was confident, it showed what self-belief you have.
Yeah, no, today we were excellent, to be fair, in all phases of play. Set pieces, in possession, out of possession, today was a top performance from us, and came here, we know it's a tough atmosphere, it's a tough ground. They're a tough team to play against. They've been in good form recently, but it was an amazing performance from us, and yeah, we deserved everything we got.
And you embraced your opportunity as well, because obviously with the injury to Bukayo, you didn't know you were going to be starting the game.
Yeah, no, just in the warm-up towards the end, but yeah, we're professionals, so we're prepared, and yeah, happy that we got the win, and yeah, it was a good game from me. But
you yourself as well, with the numbers, I heard the supporters, they were to the right of me, they were just singing your name.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. That's obviously it means a lot to our team that they come over and so long away from home, but they come and support, and we had them the whole 90 minutes, and it really pushed us on. So, yeah, they were top today.
What does this do for you as players? Because it's not just the players out on the pitch, is it? The 11 who play regularly. It's the squad, it's the balance, it's the mood.
Yeah, no, we've been fighting on all four fronts since the start of the season, so everyone knows they need to be ready. Everyone's contributing a lot, so yeah, I think it goes without saying that all the players are ready, and when they're called upon, try and do their best for the team.
Is it just about regulating? I talked about it pre-match to Declan Rice. Is it just about regulating the mindset?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think every single game or every few days you got to be ready to perform, because even if you don't play on a Wednesday, you might have to play on a Saturday, and then we got another game on Tuesday. So Champions League, all the cups. So it's just about staying locked in and staying in that zone that when you're called upon, you're ready to deliver.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he was called upon, and he did deliver. First Premier League assist for Madueke. Everyone talks about Arsenal's squad this season. Think about the difference last term when Bukayo Saka was injured. Now they've got Madueke to come in and help create that first goal.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant today. He really was. Really direct. You know, no one wants to see people get injured, but you've got plenty of backup. And this first goal here, you know, just recycled it. Declan Rice out to the left-hand side. He does so well here to get half a yard. He just commits, he's very dangerous, and this ball is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Really, really hard one, Gary, tell you, to defend that with the way it went in. And Zubamendi on the end of it was an excellent header, it really was.
Just looking at it from a defensive point of view, you just see Gruev there, and I think he looks, you can see he's took a look, and he just needs to drop in. I think he needs to react once he's seen it, fill that space, which ultimately is left, you know, and if Zubamendi didn't score, I'm sure Kai Havertz was going to, so yeah, just drop in that front post space, and then maybe you'll be able to clear it out. But it's a great heading, it's a great ball, and a great start for Arsenal.
Yeah, Ray said difficult to defend against. Why? That kind of cross.
Because the header doesn't on the ball, so he just needs to glide it in, to glance it in. And from a defensive point of view, it's easier to defend if you're in the right position. And that's what I was saying. I don't think he was in the right position. If somebody's in that front space area, you can come and attack it. But it's difficult when players are running across you, and all they need is that little glance because the pace is already on the ball.
If they were disappointed with the defending at that goal, it would be even worse for the second one, which is an own goal by the goalkeeper, Darlow. Let's take a look at this moment. And Gary, we can stick with you. You can tell us everything that's gone wrong from a Leeds perspective.
Oh, again, another set piece from Arsenal. They're so strong. I just feel that the goalkeeper, Darlow, has got to do better. I think with the flight of the ball, he needs to read the flight of the ball and just come and take it. Be dominant, come and collect it, scream his head off, let the defenders know that he's there, and just deal with the situation. I mean, the second phase of this is Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, he's a striker in that position. He's not a natural defender. Get your head on the ball if you can, and have the argument after. But ultimately, for me, the keeper will be disappointed, I'm sure. He just needs to read the flight of the ball and come and collect that.
But for Arsenal, own goals at it again.
Yes, absolutely. And it was a brilliant ball in, though, it really was. You know, the way he whipped it into that front post, it's difficult to defend. But he's got to take out his defender as well there. He's got to get something on that. And it was a poor goal to give away. But Arsenal take it and move on. And, you know, 2-0 half-time, they're pretty happy how that first half went.
Well, into the second half then, and Gyökeres makes it 3-0. A great ball from Martinelli, who came on and got involved in the action.
Yeah, well, that's the difference. I was talking to Gary earlier. I mean, the bench, you know, other guys come on as well, and Martinelli got so many options. He does so well there, just to get that little toe on it, to keep it in, and then he whips it back on his left foot. And to be fair, Gyökeres, he's had his critics, but he made a really good run here to get across to Bogle.
I just think from a defensive point of view, Goodmanson, I think he just needs to hold his position. I think he's edging to come out to Timber, isn't he? If he just stays in position, I think the more dangerous ball that's going to hurt you is through the middle. Stay in position, let that ball go to Timber, and then you can come across and the defenders can slide across. He goes early and leaves that space, but the delivery is great. And Bogle.
It was a 4th goal in 6 games in all competitions. Very big for his confidence. He has cut quite a controversial figure. People still can't quite figure out, you know, what they make of him at Arsenal this season.
Yeah, he's still got a bit to do there, and I think it's key what you said. We said off air, didn't we? I think confidence is key for him, and you're going to get confidence as a striker by playing well and scoring goals, and that'll do him the world of good today. Like Ray said, it's just the reaction. That reaction in the box, split second, gets in front of his defender and puts it away, so certainly do his confidence the world of good.
Yeah, this is his goal once again. It's also in the right place at the right time. What do you like about it, Ray?
Well, I like the movement because as soon as Martinelli comes back, he knows he's going to make his run across Bogle. He got a little bit ball watching, Bogle, as I'm being honest, but that's what strikers have got to do, make their runs, and hopefully the ball will be delivered into that area. But when he's getting pulled back, he does enough to get something on it, like a shin really, to pull it into the back of the net, and that's all good strikers do that. And he'd be delighted with that goal, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta would be delighted with the goal as well.
Yeah, delighted as well, because he took Gyökeres off, replaced him with Gabriel Jesus, and he got in on the party.
Well, yeah, that's the beauty of the squad. As we saw Madueke, and he said, look, everybody's in it together. Obviously, everybody wants to start the game, but you're going to play a big impact as well off the bench. And this is a fantastic goal, it really is. Great turn there. But he just gets that half a yard. Here we go. That shows his quality there. And what a finish. No chance for the Darlow in goal. But if you see his movement here, it's really, really good. Top draw. He makes that run there. But here, that little turn. And now that half a yard he's got there, and he puts it into the bottom corner. That's a brilliant goal, it really is.
It's a superb piece of skill, isn't it? Superb piece of skill.
Yeah.
And the impact from the bench. I've just said Martinelli with the assist. You know, Noni was not expecting to start. He did assist. And this man, Jesus, comes off the bench and scores that goal. It's just a touch of class, a touch of quality, and an impact from the bench. You see the strength and depth in his squad.
We talked a lot in the build-up to this game about the psychological battle that Arsenal were facing. No wins in 3 Premier League games. Their lead at the top cut down. They've done the business today. Put this win into context for us in terms of their response and the fact that they're now 7 clear and they can watch tomorrow.
Yeah, they're at arm's length again now, aren't they? And they need a job to do. I'm sure they felt the pressure leading into this game. It's not always a bad thing to feel the pressure, the responsibility to go out and win. And they did that in style. So credit to Arsenal. And like we said before, chalked a game off. And they're in a good place. They're in a good position at this moment in time.
And also, I mean, look at the goal difference as well. You never know how close it's going to be at the end of the season. And to score 4 goals away from home, you know, puts him in a decent goal difference as well, which could be important at the end of the season. Who knows?
Yeah, the biggest.
Newcastle concludes our busy day of action in the Premier League. So some fascinating stories developing already. But let's start with Leeds and Arsenal, which was the subject of so much of our build-up. And we built it up. I was particularly responsible, building it up, saying, look, it's a bear pit. There weren't many bears in evidence at Elland Road today, and Arsenal cruised it in the end.
Yeah, that's a kind of a bounce-back performance that Mikel had been wanting, and also the big senior players in the dressing room to look round after a result like that when everybody was, and every neutral was hoping they'd trip up and there would be another crisis at Arsenal. Their pressing was good. Defensively, they were impeccable. Very disappointed with Leeds. I think over the weeks we've seen them pick up a little bit. And when you go against the top teams, sometimes if you're not quite on it or they're a little bit better, you can just kind of lose your footing. That's what it felt like today. I think they'll be fine. But ultimately, they just fell a little bit short today, and Arsenal took full control of the game.
What I liked about the Arsenal performance is that they're accused of being quite robotic in the way that they play. We talk about their set pieces, we speak about own goals being equal top scorer. I think the fact that they had to improvise in terms of Saka not starting the game, Madueke came on. You couldn't plan for that. They adapted. They had to make that change, and Madueke was man of the match. So it just goes. Hopefully, it's a good thing for Mikel Arteta and the team to look at and say, yes, you've got prepare really well, but you can't prepare beyond what is sensible. Things happen in games. And what I liked about Arsenal was once they were comfortable, they didn't switch off. They didn't show any of that carelessness we've seen in the last couple of weeks. They kept the pressure on. They kept going. They looked like they were going to try and score another goal after the third, another one after the fourth. And I think that momentum that they had through that game, it reminds me of that Villa game that I mentioned before, which was a real, they really took, as you said before, taking the handbrake off. They really did that against Villa. It's again, they've done that again today, which is really good.
I just didn't feel that Leeds caused them enough problem. Man United caused them problems the other day.
This is something that we realistically think we're going to get points from. If you get anything from it, it's a bonus. So I would put it into a little bit of perspective. They've been on a really good run, and you would expect them to be better next week against Forest.
We saw a lot of players there coming off the pitch, like Zubamendi, who had a bad day at the office last week. I mean, you could pick out almost every Arsenal player and had a bad day at the office last week. The way they bounced back today, not just to win the game, but to score a few goals, to play a nice bit of football as well, as the second half opened up a little bit. I mean, their fans have been anxious. We've mentioned this quite a lot, but presumably now, and it's a good time to mention it, we'll be doing the Sunderland game next week. They've obviously got the Carabao Cup in between times. Things should settle down a little bit. Even Arsenal fans should just take a little breather here and enjoy that day.
I think I mentioned before that there's must-win games up the road for them. I think the trip to the Etihad is going to be crucial. I think they've got some other big games to play as well against top teams. But against teams like Leeds, they don't have to change anything. They just have to be exactly who they are. And that's what they did today. A real solid performance. They're a fit-looking team as well, Arsenal. You have to give them that. Like Declan Rice's energy level is brilliant. There's a fitness and a hunger about them. And once they get the kind of bit between their teeth, they're a very hard team to stop.
I know you're saying you have to beat the other big teams as well. But do you? Actually, the way this season is going, can you get by on just nicking the odd draw against City and whoever else and making sure you beat the teams like Leeds United?
Well, my initial point at the top of the show was that, to win any league, you're going to have to come to a point where you have to win certain games. Okay? Now, if Man City don't manage to muster a response, right, and they go along the front there, Arsenal are going to waltz to this title and they won't be put under any pressure and they could probably drop a few more points and they're still going to win it probably by mid-April, right? But if City get ahead of steam up and really close that gap, then it's all going to come down to that game at the Etihad. I'm not saying they have to beat them at the Etihad. It'd be great if they could, if you want to win the league, but they can't be beaten. But also as well, there's other games. You've got Champions League coming up as well, so that's going to take its toll on them. So it's a hugely important time, and I'm excited because there's going to be a title race. I hope there's going to be a title race.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Arsenal go on another run. I think they're a really efficient team. And I think what you're seeing today, there was some really good play in patches, but it wasn't like a completely kind of brilliant attacking performance. Put together some good moves, but they're really efficient. They get goals at the right time. They don't let you get anything. They win the second balls. They're always kind of there, really efficient. So for me, I can see them going on and winning the next 4 or 5 games in the league, and probably by 1-0, by 2-0, because that's the type of team that they are.
Strength and depth as well, imagine.
These are the top 5 players to 300 Premier League appearances in the history of the competition. Declan Rice is number 5, 27 years and 17 days. Let's hear from Arsenal's record Premier League appearance maker with 333, Ray Parlour. It's a huge milestone.
Absolutely, yeah. And Declan's been a fantastic signing, he really has. Not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well. I mean, training, he comes in with the right attitude every day, and he's been absolutely brilliant since he's been at Arsenal. But yeah, it's a great, some great names there. I mean, on that ball, Wayne Rooney, obviously top, started very young. I remember he scored his first goal against Arsenal, Wayne Rooney, back in the day. But James Milner, who could probably go on to get the record Premier League appearances through Gareth Barry. But yeah, it's a real milestone today for Declan, and he's been magnificent since he's been at the club.
Yeah, just 27 years old, as mentioned. Ray was just short of his 30th birthday, and you were one day shy of your 31st birthday when you made your 300th appearance. Wow. Declan said that, it's the stuff of dreams, and everyone says your career goes so quickly. Can you remember that moment?
No. I can't remember last week. But it's refreshing hearing him speak, it really is. I don't think he takes anything for granted, yet he's sat there as one of the best holding midfield players now in world football, I would say. Such a key position, that as well. And it's credit to him, how hard he's worked to get to where he is now. You have to fight off competition, the way he looks after his body to be ever present and available. Huge achievement, and one of the best holding midfield players, like I said, in the game at the moment.
A big day for Declan Rice, a milestone one, but even bigger is this title race that Arsenal are involved in. Let's look at their next 5 fixtures, that of Manchester City and Aston Villa as well. It's looking tough, I suppose. Aston Villa, perhaps, if you look at it, maybe have the easiest one. City's very tough, and then Arsenal, 3 of those away from home. What do you make of it, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the next couple. Obviously, Leeds is a big game today for Arsenal. Then home to Sunderland, who've had a great season so far. Brentford, but then you've got the London derbies, North London derby, Tottenham. You know, form goes out the window in those sort of games, in Chelsea. But if you look at the games coming up, probably Aston Villa will probably be looking at the next few. I know they've got a few injuries, but they're pretty good the next 5 games for Aston Villa. And Man City, 2 hard away games now. Tottenham away, who've got a great record against City, and obviously Liverpool away.
I think kind of Arsenal and City both play 3 of those away, and then Aston Villa have 3 of those at home. That's the big difference I can see. And then in terms of the quality of the teams that they're playing, maybe City have the toughest one. Do you agree?
Yeah, listen, there's no easy games in this league, is there? But I think looking at that, certainly Aston Villa's most favourable fixtures. I think, like you said, 3 at home now. And they seem to be the team that they just can't shrug off. They just won't go away. Yeah. They've been phenomenal, especially of late. So, yeah, some hard fixtures in there, but I think Aston Villa's got the easiest next few games.
Yeah, as you said, no easy game in this league, but it certainly does look like that on paper. Let's focus on this title race. And Arsenal, you've both mentioned it, that they play first. It's only an advantage if you win. But psychologically going into the game, knowing that you have that kind of, we'll play first and then we can do the business, what does that do for you mentally?
100%, it's only a positive if you win, yeah. And the mindset is it's another game and a chance to get 3 points and a chance to chalk off another game in this title race for them. They must be just fully focused on the fact of just winning this game. You know, whether it's with a great performance or not a great performance, getting 3 points is the most important thing. They must draw confidence looking around the squad, looking around the changing room, and seeing these players and seeing what's available for them. You know, they must be full of confidence as well. I know they've had a little bit of a sticky time recently, but they just need to get the strikers scoring goals somehow. But like I said, they're in a good position. They play first. It's in their hands.
Ray, the last couple of weeks, though, there have been opportunities to go clear, to increase the gap at the top of the table, which they've not really taken.
No, absolutely. And you could hear some of the fans getting frustrated against Manchester United the other day. You know, the players are giving their all, though. I mean, sometimes they can improve a little bit going forward, a little bit quicker, but certainly they're still in a great position, and that's all they've got to worry about. One game at a time. This is a big game today for them, because if they can get 3 points, it does put the pressure really on Man City going to Tottenham tomorrow, and obviously Aston Villa. So, big game.
The only thing I would say as well, Jules, is the only issue with the Arsenal team is because of the last 2 seasons, they have dropped from being in the leading positions. Whereas if this is probably a Manchester City team, you're probably going, no worries. They've been there, they've done it before. Yeah. This group of players know what they're doing. This is the only thing with this team at the moment, when the nerves settle in, you know, are they thinking about that past season or the season before? Are they wobbling mentally? In terms of quality, they shouldn't be. They should be full of confidence, but that's the only issue that I can see.
Getting over the line, Man City have been there and done it. You know, they've strengthened as well in the window, so they're going to get stronger for me. So it's so important that they keep getting the wins under their belt and hoping that other teams can do them a favour, like Spurs. Which doesn't happen a lot if you're a Spurs fan. They don't really want to help Arsenal out, but they'd be hoping that they can help them out tomorrow.
Yeah, if it does go down to the wire, just want to mark for your calendars that Manchester City play Aston Villa on the final day of the season.
Amazing. Oh,
yeah, if it does go down to the wire. You've been in this situation before in a title race where, incidentally, you've gone to Leeds in 1999. I'm sorry to remind you of this, but you know, we're going to bring this up. 1999, where you've been top of the table and then gone on to lose the league by a point, and this was the pivotal game.
Yeah, this was a massive game for us, and you know, this was coming to the second from last game, and it was a real feisty game. And there was Jimmy Floyd-Hasbank. Nigel Winterburn went off injured, and Nelson Vivas come on, and he was just ball watching the back post, and Jimmy was a great striker, and he got in, and you could see the fans knowing that we've blown it, really, because Manchester United had Tottenham the last game of the season, and we had Aston Villa last game of the season, and we probably only needed a draw in the end because of the goal difference. But yeah, disappointing. And obviously Manchester United went on to win the treble that year.
Went on to win the treble, yeah.
Great season for those.
Just
guys.
lost the league by a point to yourself and your team on that occasion. With 2 games left, you were level on points and goal difference as well. There is a trauma that comes from having this happen, a trauma that you mentioned the Arsenal squad have experienced already the last couple of seasons. How much does that then drive you to not feel like that again?
Yeah, well, you've got to learn your lessons from last year, and that's what Arsenal have got to do. Come very, very close, but not close enough. No one remembers who comes second. It's always who wins the league. So they've just got to learn from their mistakes. As I said before, hopefully they get a bit of experience from coming second and saying, well, how can we get over that line? And maybe that League Cup game, I'm talking about League Cup coming up, that might be very important if they can win a trophy, because this group of players have never really won a trophy yet. And the first one is always the hardest one. So they've got to learn, and hopefully they can get over the line this year. But it's a long way to go still.